What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Titans Tube. This is going to be our weekly picks for week 2. And Jake, I am so excited to move on from week 1. I can't wait to forget about what happened to the Titans on Sunday. Let's just get on to week 2 and forget about that horrible game we had last week. So,
oh my goodness, I've already kind of flushed it, erased it. Breaking news before we went on: Amani Hooker to IR, which is another blow. It's just snowballing, man. It's bad.
In our recap video recapping that game, we had just talked about one of the few silver linings to come out was no injuries. Well, apparently that's not the case. Our starting strong safety is on IR. We'll see if it's the long term or the short term IR. I know there's differences there, but anyway, let's get on with our weekly picks. First, let's see how we did last week, Jake. As we say, it's very difficult to kind of gauge week 1, and I don't know. I think we did pretty good. Week 1 is always tough. Jake, congratulations to you, sir. You went 10-6. You went 10-6 to my 9-7, so it was close. I gotta say, you had some pretty ballsy picks that ended up panning out, such as the Texans over the Jags. That was kind of a surprise, I thought. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of had penciled in Jacksonville for that game because who knows what's going on with Houston. You also had Pittsburgh over Buffalo. I thought you were kind of crazy going with that prediction. And we both had the Bengals over the Minnesota Vikings. So shout out to both of us for that pick.
Very nice.
But that was I think that's a pretty solid showing for week 1. I mean, who knows what's going to happen on the first week of NFL Sunday.
Hey, we're above 500. We'll take it. On to week 2. Just like that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if we can do better. We've got a little bit of a sample size from these teams now. So let's start off with this Thursday night matchup. We've, surprise, got an NFC East showdown on primetime football. We've got the New York Giants going to the Washington football team. Both teams coming off losses. Giants losing to Denver. Washington lost to Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, they lost to the Chargers 20-16 on Sunday. Ryan Fitzpatrick may not. No, he's out. He's on the short-term IR right now. So it's going to be Taylor Heineke. I don't think that's much of a drop-off, Jake. I mean, he kind of made a name for himself in that playoff game against Tampa Bay last year where he held his own, gave Washington a fighting chance in the playoffs. I'm going to go ahead and start right off the back. I don't see that much of a big drop-off from Fitzpatrick to Heineke. I think Washington takes care of business at home here. Give me Washington. What about you, Jake?
I like it, but I am going to swap over. I do like what you said about Heineke. He definitely gave them a fighting chance in that wild card game, and this could be his chance to maybe assume the starting role over Fitzpatrick if he can string a couple of wins together. But I think I'm going to lean toward the Giants for no other reason than I'm hearing a lot of quarterback for the Giants. Help me out.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Thank you. Oh, man. I don't know why I just totally blanked on it. But I'm hearing a lot of Daniel Jones, bad press. He's not the answer. And I think, maybe he comes out, surprises people week 2. It's, week 1, can't put a lot of stock into it. And, for that reason, and also the quick quarterback change that Washington's going to have to make, I'm going to take the Giants.
Moving on to the Sunday games at noon. First one, we've got your 1-0 Cincinnati Bengals going to Chicago, who, they lost big time to the Rams. I think a lot of people saw that coming, as did we. We both had the Rams in that game. I'm not sure what the situation at quarterback is. I mean, I know Justin Fields got onto the field and scored a rushing touchdown for Chicago. If he was starting and is going to be starting this whole game, I might be leaning towards Chicago in this game, but give me Cincinnati to go 2-0, going on the road to take care of business against a very vanilla Andy Dalton playing quarterback for that Chicago team. I don't see them doing enough on offense as long as he's taking snaps. That's just the way I see it, Jake. What about you?
Gotta love the Andy Dalton revenge game with the Bengals traveling to Chicago. Love to see this finally go down. But yeah, man, I don't know what's going on in Chicago with the Justin Fields, Andy Dalton situation. I mean, you just said it yourself. You'd be more inclined to pick Chicago if they started Justin Fields, but yet they keep on trotting Andy Dalton out there. And, you know, I really liked what I saw out of Cincinnati last weekend. with, Jamar Chase catching the ball, getting some deep shots down the field from Joe Burrow. That is very good if you're a Bengals fan. And yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm going to go with my quote unquote Southwest Ohio hometown Bengals.
You and your hometown teams. Hey, how about the Bengals starting out hot at 2-0? I'd like to see it. Joe Burrow coming back strong.
Yep.
Let's go to your other hometown team, the Cleveland Browns, who will be hosting these 1-0 Houston Texans. Oof, I gotta think that there's a bit of a flukiness aspect to their 37 points that they dropped on Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville. Not a good look for them. Not a good look for Urban Meyer. We'll get to them later. But Houston coming out 1-0, taking on Cleveland, who dropped a close game to the Chiefs. Maybe should have won that game against the Chiefs, kind of blowing it down the stretch a bit. But, Mahomes is going to Mahomes. You can't give him an inch or he's going to make you pay. I'm going to make it quick. There's no way Cleveland doesn't bounce back against this Houston team. I hope I might eat my words, but whatever. I got Cleveland. Easy pick for me. What about you?
I'm going to go Cleveland too, but really shout out Houston. We're supposed to be AFC South rivals, but I want to give my kudos to Tyrod Taylor and that team. All off season, people have been dismissing the Houston Texans at every corner, and they came out ready to play and they got the win week 1. So kind of hats off to them. I like to see that out of them, but yeah, I'm going Cleveland. They're overmatched.
Yeah, I got you. All right, let's move on. Indianapolis had a tough home game against the Seahawks, and it's not going to get any easier against another NFC West opponent with Matthew Stafford's LA Rams coming to town. This LA Rams team, man. I'm going to keep talking them up until they drop a game or just look god awful for whatever reason, but they're good. I think they're going to be good all season long. I'll throw the pick to you though. I keep picking first. Let's change it up. Give me your pick first.
So yeah, you love what you see out of the Rams. Matthew Stafford, did you see the clip of him running down the field after the long bomb he threw on the first possession? He looked like a kid again. And you love to see that for a guy like Matthew Stafford, kind of having a career renaissance. No overreactions for week 1, Justin, but having a career renaissance in LA.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams here. And, looking ahead on the Titans schedule to week 3, the Titans and Colts can be looking at each other like they're in a mirror, 0-2 dropping to 2 NFC West teams. The whole division's really, really good, and it's tough to go. It's going to be tough to split for either team, and that's why I'm going to go with the Rams on the road.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a crazy reality that we could be looking at here coming up in week 3. You know what? I think Indianapolis is going to put up a pretty good fight. I think this will be a close game, but that's not really a prediction because I am going to go with the Rams either way. It doesn't matter. It's like if they blow them out or if they win by 1 point, we're still, counting it as Rams win with my prediction. So I'll take the Rams to win. I'm still expecting Indianapolis' defense to put it together and be a really solid unit again. Maybe they can slow down their offense a little bit, but in the end, I think the Rams take it and start out 2-0 here. Let's move on to a divisional matchup, AFC East. Bills dropped the game at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Interestingly enough, they only put up 16 points on offense. Is that the Steelers' defense that's really good, or is this Buffalo offense kind of taking a bit to get going again to how they were, how successful they were last year? They're going on the road, to Miami. Getting a 1-point victory. That's a game that I had over you, Jake, last week in week 1. I had a feeling there's something to this Miami team. Well coached, they're going to come ready to play. And now they get the Bills at home. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one, Jake. I'm going to throw this one to you again. I don't know. I don't know which way you're going to lean here. So tell us.
You really talked up Miami there. I love dropping in the well-coached team. You love Brian Flores in Miami. But, I feel like this Buffalo team is going to be hungry. And, Miami should be licking their chops at this opportunity to host the 0-1 Bills and get a 2-game jumpstart on your division with 2 divisional wins, But I think Buffalo is going to come out hungry after last week. That blocked punt in the Steelers game really kind of turned the needle. It was a real tight defensive game until that point. So I think Buffalo might put it together a little bit because I still do think that they're contenders this year. So I got Buffalo with the win.
Yeah, man, I do agree with you. I think there's no way Buffalo's going to come out and not be extremely hungry for this next for a win here against Miami. Big divisional game. It is tempting seeing that Miami is going to be pretty good. They're going to be contenders in the AFC East, I think, but it's hard to go against Buffalo here. And if they go 0-2, that's going to be a bit surprising because we know that they have their sights set on a Super Bowl this season after what they did last year and seemingly, didn't have any significant losses and they're, improving. I don't know exactly significant changes they had to their roster, but the Super Bowl is in their sights this season. So I think they're going to get it back together, rally, and beat Miami on the road here. Let's move on to, again, finishing out the AFC East here. We got New England going on the road to take on the New York Jets, who struggled going down to Carolina. They didn't score until the second half, ultimately losing kind of a ho-hum game, 14-19, with New England coming off that 1-point loss to the Dolphins. I'm going to take New England here. I just, I like the way that the Jets fought back and competed. They're trying to change that culture there with Zach Wilson, and he looked pretty good. I did like how he looked. Shout out to our boy Corey Davis for catching the 2 touchdowns that New York scored. Love seeing Corey Davis succeed there. Wish nothing but success for him there. But also going against Jonnu Smith. So we got Jonnu Smith versus Corey Davis.
Oh, wow.
Jets. So we'll see how they perform in that game. But more importantly, I got the Patriots taking care of business on the road here. What about you, Jake?
I really like the Patriots week 1, and I think some of that confidence is leaning over into week 2 too. I don't know why, but I just have the nightmare that Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady. And I think I'm going to say it every week when we talk about the Patriots until, Jonnu Smith makes a ridiculous catch. It's bound to happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yes, and I also second the salute to Corey Davis. Have yourself a game. Nothing but love from us Titans fans as well. But yes, I'm going to have New England here. I feel like there's something brewing in this. AFC East is going to be really, really, really competitive with Buffalo, New England, and Miami in the mix. And I just don't think the Jets are ready yet. So I got the Patriots.
Yeah. Interesting new look division. All new quarterbacks. It's Josh Allen, the most veteran quarterback, like him and Tua, with Zach Wilson and Mac Jones being rookies. So we'll see how it shapes out there for him. Let's move on to the NFC. We've got the San Francisco 49ers coming off a big win. It was a big win against the Lions, and the Lions closed the gap at the end there against Philadelphia, who did win big against the Atlanta Falcons last week. So Eagles hosting the 49ers. I know Philadelphia looked really good. I think I am just still really down on the Falcons. I think a lot of that does have to do with the opponent. Jalen Hurts was looking good, but I am a bit high on what San Francisco is doing. I think they're going to have a bounce back year. They're going to compete in that tough NFC West, and I'm going to go ahead and take them on the road here to beat the Eagles. Even though the Eagles look pretty impressive, I still got San Francisco here, Jake.
Hey, Philadelphia pick worked out for me last week. Loved what I saw from Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. And, I think I might go for the upset pick here. 49ers coming to the East Coast, playing at 1 o'clock. That's going to be 9 a.m. their time. I mean, these guys probably wake up early, but that's still an early kickoff to go, get to the stadium and play a football game. So give me the Eagles in the upset.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think that should be a very exciting game either way. Let's move back to the AFC. We got the Las Vegas Raiders winning, and they were about to lose in improbable fashion, and then they somehow won in improbable fashion, forcing that late fumble on Lamar Jackson and then finishing the job with that touchdown to Zay Jones on Monday Night Football, taking on these 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Jake, the Steelers will not go away. I think they're staring at 2-0 in the face yet again. The Raiders, we both had Baltimore last week. We both had Baltimore, even after knowing all the injuries at running back that the Ravens sustained, because we're waiting for the Raiders to prove us something. Get a big win. Don't choke the game away, even though they really tried to. And at the end of the day, they got it done. They beat a really good opponent at home to open up the season. I want to see them do it again. Because I still, one game doesn't really change my entire outlook on the Raiders. So for now, I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home, but for a brief moment, you have caught my attention, Raiders. So I would like to see you do that again, but I'm going to take the Steelers. What about you, Jake?
I'm right on the same page as you, man. Kudos to the Raiders for run it back. I'm kind of on the same page as you. I am going to take Pittsburgh in this game, but yes, definite eyebrow raise for Las Vegas being able to beat a pretty good Baltimore Ravens team. Lamar is going to be scary this year. He's looking pretty good, but shout out Carl Nassib for the strip sack. That was a great Monday night game.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man, we both got Pittsburgh there. Waiting for you, Raiders. Keep doing it. Keep going, and maybe we'll pick you somewhere down the road. Let's go to a divisional matchup in the NFC. We got the New Orleans Saints going on the road to take on the Carolina Panthers. Both teams 1-0. And, oh, man, thank goodness for the Green Bay Packers' offensive ineptitude, kind of taking the story away from the Titans' offensive ineptitude in week one. These New Orleans Saints, their defense shutting down like the number one offense in the league MVP from last week. So there's no way they're that good, right, Jake? The New Orleans Saints with Jameis Winston, 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. Pretty shocking here. You know what I say? I say if you play fantasy football, you better run and get some Jameis Winston on your roster. Because I think there's going to be more of that to come. I know it's just one game, but something fits. Something's working there right now. And with him and Kamara, they're already having good chemistry out of the backfield. So he's plugging in and fitting in nicely. I think it helped for him being there and sitting behind Drew Brees for a year to kind of acclimate himself because he's not just like a brand new face coming into this system. And, I think this thing kind of continues, maybe not to the 35-3 or the 38-3 margin, but I think they continue to roll here. So I'll take the Saints on the road against the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm also going to take the Saints. And, the theme of the weekend and kind of our recap is no overreactions to week one. I'm going to have one overreaction to week one is I'm sold on Jameis Winston on the Saints. I would love to see this guy kind of have a second coming, especially moving to the division rival in New Orleans. See if he can't upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers once or twice this season. So it's going to be an interesting road ahead with Jameis Winston and Sean Payton. And I'm here for the ride. I mean, I think it's going to be an entertaining team to watch.
Yeah, agreed. Next up, we've got the Denver Broncos taking care of business against the New York Giants in week one, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, disappointing their fans yet again. That's what they do time and time again. Sorry to step on the Jags, but division rivals gotta throw some shade.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all.
Yeah, we're laughing at them. We laugh at the Jags' ineptitude. What's going on in Jacksonville? Can they rally against a beatable Broncos team? I mean, the Broncos, I don't think they're not going to be a pushover by any means, but I don't think they're quite playoff ready, in my opinion. I like Bridgewater. I like some of the pieces that they've been adding to that team, but I don't see them as a playoff team. I think this is a winnable game given your opponent if you're Jacksonville, but man, what a letdown! Man, what a letdown against the Texans that was for Jacksonville. So, what's your pick? Give me your pick first here, Jake.
I'm going to go with the shocker. I know we are very anti-Jags here, but I'm going to pick the Jags at home here to get their first win. I just think at some point Trevor Lawrence is going to use his talent to kind of maybe overcome some coaching and some organizational flaws to win a couple of games this year at least. He's too talented not to. And I think he's got good pieces around him as well. So I'm going to go with the Jags to get the home win. I'm with you. I think the Broncos are beatable. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, shout out to him as well for getting a win week one. But I'm going to go with the home team, but I'm still on the anti-Jags, always kind of bash Urban and Trevor and the Jags organization.
We will keep that noted. Asterisk.
Yes.
Still hating on the Jags. This does not mean I like the Jags whatsoever. You have an interesting strategy, Jake. You take the Texans to beat the Jags and what most people wouldn't have expected. And then you're going to turn around and taking the Jags to beat this Denver Broncos team. And I mean, hey, you're right. Maybe you just have this feel for the Jags this year. So we'll see how it works out. But yet again, I'm a safe, boring guy. I'm going to take the better team here. I'll take the Broncos to go and move to 2-0 on the season against Jacksonville. But hey, we'll see what happens there.
Fair enough.
All right, next up. we've got the Minnesota Vikings losing in overtime, close game against Cincinnati, taking their 0-1 record to Arizona. Going to Arizona, who just mollywopped the Titans a new one, tore a new butthole in them. Oh my goodness, I still feel the pain from that. Man, we saw him up close. I think Arizona, how can you not say that this team looks like they're going to be a contender in that NFC West division? And that may be the best division in the entire NFL. So they're going to be scratching and clawing for every win they get within the division. So looking outside of the division, you got the Vikings coming to town. I think this is one that they're going to have. Vikings looking to bounce back. Of course, the Vikings aren't a pushover. Kirk Cousins and that offense, they went off. He threw for 300 plus yards and looked good, threw a few touchdowns. I think this could be a shootout. We thought that the Titans and Cardinals would be a shootout. That obviously did not happen on the Titans side. So I think this could be a higher scoring, both teams kind of in the low 30s, a close game. But give me Arizona. I know Kyler Murray, I'm still having nightmares about him avoiding.
Oh my goodness.
So I think he's going to give the Vikings some of those same fits, and I'll take the Cardinals.
I'm right there with you, man. I hate to kind of reiterate that point, but yes, oh my goodness, how could we not pick Arizona after the absolute shellacking that they gave the Titans in Nashville on Sunday? Kyler Murray definitely made a believer out of me. I probably wasn't walking into the game, but yeah, he looks like he's coming along nicely. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green on the outsides looking to be tangible weapons with, don't forget about Christian Kirk. I'm with you here. I'm taking the Cardinals over the Vikings. The Vikings don't feel like the Vikings feel like they have the pieces, but can't quite put them together.
Yeah. You love their receivers. You love the running back. Kirk Cousins is capable. I mean, he has that, can't win big games, Kirk Cousins, but I mean, they've got good pieces. They got good pieces on defense, but this doesn't feel like the Vikings of, I don't know what they made an NFC Championship game. They had a couple pretty good playoff runs. The Miracle in New Orleans or whatever with Stephon Diggs. Just doesn't feel like they're that team really right now. So we'll see what happens with them. But okay, we both got Arizona. I feel like we're both going to go the same way here. If the road team wins in this matchup, Jake, it might be the upset of the season. We've got the Atlanta Falcons going to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the defending champs. Short and sweet. Tampa Bay is just the much better team. And they, like we say, returning all 22 starters. Atlanta's not even returning the same head coach or their number one receiver of last year. And a lot of other things going on with them. Tampa Bay for me. What about you?
I got to say, Tom Brady really, really, really impressed me in that Thursday night opener. He looks as sharp as ever, frankly. And, they were showing the old footage of him with long hair, and it just made me think about how long he's been kind of dominating the league. Not to, get on here and bow at Brady's feet, but man, dude still got it at 44 years old. At least you got to tip the cap there. And definitely, I think Arthur Smith might be in for a tough go here in his first season with the Falcons. So definitely give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. He still has the arm strength. That 43 years old, and we saw it fall off dramatically with Peyton and Breeze, like right at 39, 40 years old. And he still looks like he has as strong as his arm as ever at approaching mid-40s. That's unheard of, ridiculous, unprecedented. Somebody stop this man. I'm tired of it.
Please. He's just going to have to get bored with it, I think. Eventually he's just going to be like, I don't really feel bored. Like it this year. Yeah.
I'm going to try basketball. Maybe I'll win an NBA championship or something.
Join the Lakers.
Yeah, right. The Lakers. Everyone's jumping on the Lakers. Anyway, man. We'll get to that in our NBA Tube channel.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's go to see. Let's see. We got the Dallas Cowboys, going on the road to take on the Chargers. Kind of an interesting matchup here. Chargers won a close game against Washington, 20-16. Dallas lost. The Thursday night game. Yeah, to Tampa Bay. Put up a really good fight. Dak is, I do like Dak. I know I've said this before. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I did not expect to see him light up the stat sheet, at least, as much as he did against a good Tampa Bay defense. Dak is back suddenly after one game. I was pretty impressed by that. And I do like this Chargers team. I think this is going to be high scoring, though. And I think I like Dallas in a high scoring affair. So give me Dallas to bounce back and get to 500 here. What about you?
I was definitely surprised at the fight that Dallas was able to give Tampa Bay on that Thursday night opener. And that's the kind of reason I'm leaning toward picking the Cowboys with you, Justin. I just feel like Dak is going to kind of rally the troops. I mean, Zeke didn't do a whole ton, but, at least he looked spry and had a little movement. And I love Dallas's wide receivers. I think they have a pretty good stable of weapons at their disposal. And the Chargers are still, I feel like they might have a few growing pains as the season goes. I don't think they're going to come out of the gate, 3 or 4-0. Give me Dallas here.
Yeah, they really should have won that game against Tampa Bay. Now I'm remembering it now. Yeah, the good win. Was it a pass interference on offense? Last second drive, they kick a field goal to win. I mean, Dallas had them against the ropes, so that was an impressive performance. If you believe in moral victories, you could call that a moral victory, but don't ask a Dallas Cowboy or a Dallas fan. They're going to be like, no, that's bullcrap. We want the win, which I respect that. But okay, well, let's move on to Sunday Night Football. Cool, pretty good matchup here. We got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road to Baltimore. Baltimore getting their home opener here in a very difficult fashion, taking on the Chiefs. Jake, what's your take for this game?
I really wanted to see the Browns pull off that upset, and it just kind of felt like the classic Mahomes game where, they're down 9 points, but all of a sudden he scrambles out to the right, throws off of his back foot, and Tyreek Hill's right there to kind of catch it like it's a punt and run it in for a touchdown. They're always that play away from coming back in any situation. They're always that single play away from busting any game wide open. And I just think, with the Ravens losing to Las Vegas on Monday night, I feel like, I heard Brandon Staley. Is that their left tackle? Staley? No, wrong. Anyways. Ronnie Staley. Thank you. Ronnie Staley's kind of played a little Lawan-esque. I was seeing, he's also coming back from an ACL. So, and the Ravens have the new running backs coming in. I feel like Kansas City is going to take advantage here and kind of get another notch in their belt when it comes to securing that eventual number 1 seed that I think they'll get. So give me the Chiefs.
Well, you mean number 2 seed behind the Titans, number 1 seed.
Oh, yes, correct. Yes.
And, this might be my dumb upset pick, but Baltimore's still a really good team. They flubbed away that game. The Raiders were like, "No, you win," and then Baltimore was like, "Oh no, just kidding. We want you to win." It was like, I can't believe both teams blew it that hard at the end of the game. They're going to come out hungry and angry. And they're going to scratch and claw and maybe just get this upset against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, I know the Browns are a good team, but they did look beatable. Maybe a little bit more beatable than in years past. I don't know what it is, but I got to have that doesn't make sense pick. And I think this might be it. I don't think Baltimore obviously isn't a pushover. I still think they're a very quality playoff team. I think they'll probably still, get to the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to be by winning the division or not. But this is still a good team. Lamar Jackson's still dangerous. He's still making plays all over the field. So give me the Ravens and I guess an upset. I guess Kansas City's going to have to be favored in this game.
Yeah.
But I'll take Baltimore.
I don't hate it at all. I thought Lamar looked really sharp, especially throwing the ball on Monday night. So, this could be a shootout, who gets the ball last kind of situation, or whose defense can step up and make a play. I think it will be a close one for sure.
Yeah. And just like you had your asterisk of, I still don't like the Jags. Here's my asterisk. I hate the Ravens, and I want nothing to do with the Ravens, but I'll take them to win this game. All right. Perfect. Monday Night Football. We've got Detroit on the road against Green Bay, who is last in the NFL in scoring, averaging 3 points a game. Somehow, some way, they've got to get that turned around against this Detroit defense, right, Jake? I think so. I'm going to be short and sweet. Green Bay has to bounce back here at Lambeau Field. Give me Green Bay. How about you?
Yeah, just setting the scene. Lambeau Field, Monday night home opener. Aaron Rodgers' last dance, probably in Green Bay, which got off, no pun intended, on the wrong foot. Justin, I thought Aaron Rodgers looked a little disinterested. Looked like he's kind of half thinking about the Jeopardy job and half thinking about I guess I'll throw it to Devontae. So, I was really surprised to see the Packers come out as flat as they did. And I'm with you, man. Thank you to Green Bay for kind of taking some of the, spotlight away from the Titans' bad performance by upstaging them. Only 3 points from the high-powered Packers offense. Rough outing there. But yes, I don't think Detroit is going to have enough to come into Lambeau and upset the Packers for Monday night. But man, it would be something if they did. It would be something it would be panic time in Green Bay, probably.
Storylines galore. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers might just jump ship or retire early. Anyway, all right, we both got Green Bay. Let's circle back around to Sunday in a rare afternoon game for our Tennessee Titans. They are traveling to Seattle. They get the treat of going up to Seattle to play a Russell Wilson-led team who dropped 4 touchdowns and only 5 incompletions against probably, a much better defense in Indianapolis. Titans going to have to try to right things in a very difficult way as Seattle took care of business, like I said, against the Colts, 28-16. Jay, can we bounce back? I mean, I know a lot of Titans fans are down right now. Can't blame them. That was one of the biggest, stinkiest Week 1 performances in recent memory. So what do you see here? Can the Titans win this one?
Justin, you're kind of giving me the hope. And I saw another little statistical piece of hope that maybe Titans fans can cling to walking into Sunday's game, because I know it looks bad flying to the West Coast, going to Seattle for their home opener. And, it's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous, and Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And what are we going to do? Mike Vrabel is 7-0 in his head coaching tenure following a double-digit loss.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cause for hope. There's a little bit of hope. But, I have to stick with my principles, and it's every time that I'm really mad at this team, I'm going to pick against them in these picks videos. Okay. And so give me the Seattle Seahawks, because I've had time to ruminate on the loss and go eat some comfort food and, just really come to peace with it. And I'm still really, really pissed about how the Titans played on Sunday, Justin. It was awful. I don't want to talk about it anymore, but it was that bad. So give me Seattle. In Week 2, I've already jumped ship, and I'm mad at the team. So yeah I'll take.
You're not alone. You're not alone in that take. You threw out the 7-0 after a double-digit loss. You said. Mm-hmm. Well, here's another bubble burster stat. It was Mike Vrabel had lost just 1 game when he had 2 weeks or more to prepare. In other words, after a bye week or in Week 1. Well, that stat is now has 2 losses in the worst way. So that trend is gone. Hopefully, this other trend won't be gone. But as a faithful Titans fan, I've got to think the boys are going to rally. You've got to think that the culture of this team, the bounce back of this team that never quits. I mean, it did suck to see us not at least make it a little closer. We've seen this team get down in many games and end up losing games in the past, but they would always fight back. They would, they wouldn't just roll over and die. They're not saying they did in Week 1, but, I think these Titans are pissed. I think Taylor Lewan, people are really down on him. And how can you not be? Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. Ryan Tannehill got sacked 6 times total. He knows what's going on and what people are saying. And he's going to be pissed coming out of the gate and looking to improve. I mean, he's not going to get down on himself in any way, shape, or form. I think this team is pissed, and they are going to respond. And I think they're going to get this upset win. And, man, Seattle looks good, and it's not going to be easy. But I'm an extremely biased Titans fan when it comes down to it. And so that's where the core of this pick is coming from.
I love it. That kind of got me pumped up. I'm thinking about changing my pick, but I'm not going to, because I want to pick up a game on you, Justin. Okay. But I did very much appreciate that impassioned fan speech, and I'm ready. I think the Mike Vrabel trend of 7-0 after a double-digit loss could continue. Who knows? I mean, 7-0. I mean, he's doing something right after big losses like that.
Yeah. He knows how to get the team to respond, and he's good at getting the players to believe in what he's doing. I really think that, and the chemistry that this team has in the building there. So, we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed, Jake. I hope, either way, these are two NFC opponents, and we can eventually right the ship against an Indianapolis team at home in week 3. But every game matters in the NFL, so let's try to right the ship now when we can. The next game in front of you. So hopefully they get it done. So
yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully they can. And that's going to round it out here, Jake, with our week 2 picks. We'll see. You finished 10-6 in week 1. I finished 9-7. I feel like we picked a lot of the same games. There might have been 4-ish or 5, maybe, where we picked differently, but we'll see. I feel like we're in for another close season between the two of us.
Definitely. Definitely.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We do read the comments. I know we're kind of hit and miss with replying and all that, but we do appreciate the comments that you guys leave. So let us know what you guys think. What you guys thought about our picks, and if you have picks below, feel free to leave them in the comments. And that'll do it. Like, comment, and subscribe, Jake.
All that jazz, Justin. That was our weekly picks. Week 2 already. Before you know it, it'll be 9, 10, 11, 12, and end of the season, and then the Titans will go all the way to the Super Bowl. So cherish football while we got it. Week 2 in the books. Week 2 picks in the books. Not yet.
Okay, yeah, let's get it right. Let's clean out this ending here. We've got to have a smooth transition. We're professionals on Titans 2.
Definitely. This is a high-tech production.
Yes, exactly. All right, you guys take it easy. We'll see you next week.
Peace.